Hey, welcome to PT to Go, where you can learn it here and take it with you wherever you go. I'm a physical therapist with over 10 years of experience, and I wanted to share that knowledge with as many people as I can to prevent injury and to recover from injury. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified every time I release a new video every Sunday. Also, check out my website for more tips and tricks on how to get and stay happy and healthy. You'll find the link in the description below. Today I want to talk about the top hip strengthening exercises to do post-injury or for preventative care. If you remember from my last video, a lot of times hip pain can be caused from muscle imbalances, and one of the biggest offenders is the hip abductors, those side hip muscles. And that's because we just don't move laterally in life. We don't use them a lot. And as we get older, we're just more prone to injuries. And so it's really important to take care of our bodies. And so how we can do that, how we can prevent injuries from occurring, prevent pain from occurring, is to dynamically stretch out. We need to strengthen the core muscles, so do some advanced core strengthening. We need to do these hip strengthening muscles specifically, so tying in the core and the hip, because they are connected and they are what provide our stability, our core, our base for everything we do below and above. So we really need that to be solid. So we need to warm up doing the dynamic stuff. We need to strengthen. We need to then stretch afterwards, any areas that are tight. So stay tuned for my next video. That's going to be on static hip stretching. In order to correct the muscle imbalances that can cause these hip injuries, we need to strengthen those muscles. So in today's video, I want to show you a progressive hip strengthening routine that you can do. So if you are coming off of an injury, you can start with the more basic exercises and work up to the more advanced versions. This side plank with hip abduction exercise I really like. There's a really good research study that showed that it actually elicited the highest hip abduction muscle activation compared to some other hip exercises that they did, hip abductor exercises that they did. So I really like this one. It's a challenging one, but again, there's a progression, so you can work up to that more advanced position. As far as how many, how often, you can add these into your weekly strengthening routine. So even 3 to 4 times a week is going to build and maintain strength. If you do 10 to 15 reps is what I usually say of all of them, and 2 to 3 sets, whatever you like to do. I really only like to do 2 because it takes time to do 3, and so 2 is my number. So I do 2 sets of 10 to 15 depending on how I'm feeling that day and what I can do. I only want to do as many as I can, keeping good form. Once I start to lose my form, I need to stop, because if you're not doing these with good form, you're not doing yourself any good. You're actually putting yourself at risk for an injury. All right, so here are my top hip strengthening exercises to do post-injury or for injury prevention. So we're going to start with a double leg bridge. Feet down, just lifting the hips up, keeping everything parallel. I'm going to progress to a single leg bridge, crossing one over the other, hips remain level. Nice slow and controlled movements, 10 to 15 reps of each. Next I'm going to transition to a side clam. So this is a basic exercise. Feet together, hips stacked, just raising that top knee. I'll transition to a side leg lift. My leg is going up and back. I don't want that leg coming in front of my body because we're trying to work those back hip muscles, the hip abductor. I'm going to transition here to a modified side plank and then add in that hip abduction. So this is the side plank with hip abduction exercise I mentioned earlier in the study that had good results. Then I'm going to try the full version. So full side plank, add in that hip abduction, up and back, nice straight alignment. Then we're going to go into a standing position, so a more functional position with a band. I'm going to do band walks. So forward monster, I'm stepping up and out, giving a little bend in my knees, feet pointed forward with all of these. Switch to a back monster walk, so backwards J you're creating, almost with your heel, keeping your feet pointed forward, stepping back and out, and then a side step. So a little bend in the knees, that athletic stance, 10 to 15 steps sideways one way, trying not to lean too much into it, and then 10 to 15 steps the other way. Then I'm going to switch to skaters. So keeping most of my weight on the one leg, sweeping the other one out and back as if you were speed skating. Then we're going to do a standing external rotation. So I'm going to start with my toe touching if I need to, just rotating that knee out to the side. Eventually I want to be able to keep that foot off the ground. So nothing fancy. You don't need a lot of equipment. A simple band will do, as well as just body weight resistance is really all you need to build up that strength, maintain the strength, and correct those imbalances that can lead to hip injuries and pain. I also just want to reiterate that as we get older, we are more prone to injuries. Our tissues don't rebound as fast as they did before, so it's even more important to maintain the alignment, which means stretching out, dynamically warming up those tissues so you don't get some kind of strain when you jump right in. It means strengthening, so you're correcting any imbalances. So specifically your core and your hip strength, make sure those are balanced and functional for you. And then you also want to stretch out statically those areas that are tight. So after you work out, after a day at the office, after a day hauling and lifting, make sure you're stretching out those areas that are tight for you. That will also help correct alignment issues. Please comment below on your favorite hip strengthening exercises. I know probably not everyone's favorites, but I have some favorites. I really like the band walks myself, and I really like that side plank with hip abduction because they are very targeted and I can feel them and they're challenging without really having to do a whole lot, spend a whole lot of time on it. So those are my favorite. Anyone else have a favorite out there? I love to learn new exercises so I can share it with people, especially if it's more challenging. Sometimes we get stuck in the same ones, and so it's always good to learn new ones. So comment below if you have a favorite. I'd love to hear it. Next week, I'll share my top hip stretches, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you've subscribed so you don't miss out. And hit the thumbs up if you've liked any of this. Please share with your family and friends so we can all get and stay happy and healthy for years to come. Thanks for watching.